Hi, it's Megan. I have really fallen hard and heavy for the Nars Audacious lipsticks. I did an earlier video for 4 colors, Rita, Brigitte, Audrey, and Juliet. Sorry, I forgot that for a second. Idiot. But I did fall prey to the, oh my gosh, there are so many that are sold out thing that was going around, and I bought 2 more from Barney's directly. So there are 40 shades, and I said I'll put a link to the earlier description, which probably will have a more thorough review since that was my first one on these lipsticks, and I don't want to repeat. But there are 40 shades and 10 are exclusive to Barney's and the Nars website. And a lot of the ones on the Nars website that sold out fast were the Barney's exclusive, one would assume, because you can only get them at Barney's, which is harder than getting them at the Nars website. And yes, that's a slight dig at the Barney's website, but almost unnavigable. But the Barney's store is amazing. I had a wonderful guy at the Nars counter in Beverly Hills who's amazing. If anyone wants to know his name, I will write it down in the comments. So I got 2 of the shades, and I had fallen in love with Anita at Sephora, but just, I don't know, I couldn't really justify another thing or another one of these lipsticks. And the one I got, one of the first ones I got, is Vanessa, and it's an awful lot like Anita, which is a good thing because I would have bought Anita at some point anyway, but now I got Vanessa, which from what I understand is slightly cooler and has almost a little bit of a lavender undertone to it. These are $32 for 0.14 ounce, so that's a little bit larger than most lipsticks. It's also a little bit more expensive than the regular Nars lipsticks, but the texture and the creaminess, and they're opaque, but for some, it seems like to me, just looking at other reviews, they look slightly different on everyone. Do they work with your body chemistry? Probably not, but I'll think that for a second. But they have this amazing, beautiful, opaque coverage, even with the lighter shades, that wears amazing. Sometimes these last 2, 3, 3.5 hours on me. No scent. I don't really get drying. I don't get bleeding. One of the darker shades, I don't know, maybe bled just a tiny, tiny bit, but maybe. And it's just, it's such a smooth, hydrating, amazing formula. It just looks really pretty. I haven't tried one of them, and I tried something in my eye. I swatched a whole bunch of them and then tried them on at a Sephora store, and there were 1 or 2 that weren't the best shades for me, but for the most part I thought they were gorgeous. And there are kind of 2 things I look at when I look at, oh my gosh, this is a great product. One is kind of the consistency along the line and the formula of, you know, and then the other one is really the colors. Shades can look really pretty off, but then they just don't work on, and I felt like a lot of this line, just the colors knocked it out of the ballpark. The formula did too, but. So anyway, the first one is Vanessa. It's on my lips right now, and it is described as a mauve nude, so that makes sense, right? A nude with a little bit of purpley pink thing going on. This to me is kind of neutral to warm, and it's definitely, like Anita, a muted color, and I love the nudes and the muted pinks in this line. I like the darker ones too, but it seems like the nudes and the lighter pinks have a harder time kind of standing out or getting great coverage on your lips. These just have this beautiful finish. They're opaque, they're really beautiful, and really, really amazing. I like this shade. It's not ever going to be, I think I should fix that. It's not ever going to be the most standout in your eyes shade, but I think that little purple undertone, first of all, it's unusual. There's just a tiny bit of purple in a neutral, and it's also going to go with everything. I haven't put a lot of makeup on for this video because I'm going to put a lot of makeup on for the next one, and it's not really going to match. And the next one is Dominique, and this was one that kind of, I guess, was one of the earlier ones to sell out. I was lucky to find it at Barney's, and they have these great little metal cases that snap shut, which you actually have to be careful because if you do it wrong, if you do it fast, it'll go flying off. So get it right, it doesn't come off in your purse. Get it wrong, oh, I didn't swatch the first one. Okay, I'll swatch them both after. So this is Dominique. And I put it on camera. I didn't used to when I first started doing videos, but then I realized that when I do it on camera, people can see, first of all, how it applies, how easy it is to apply, how great the coverage is, and then how opaque it is, whether it shows up differently because my lips are reasonably pigmented or not. And this one was the first one, Vanessa. You can see they're super different, but they both have a slight little purple. Well, one has a slight little purple and one has more than a slight little purple. And so Dominique is described as pink lilac, and I think it's a really unusual shade. It's kind of a muted, medium purple-ish, but it's got kind of pink undertones and a satin finish. So it's not a pure super purple, but it's definitely a lilac purple, and not a super light one. What I like about a shade like this, first of all, I think it looks good with a bunch of different eye colors. It makes eyes pop. And also, there are some looks that pinks just, on me, since I've got a warm undertone, just make me look, I don't know, like I'm trying to be a fairy princess. It's just too much on my skin tone. And so when I do like purples or kind of smoky eye purples, stuff like that, I like to have things that tonally match. Or sometimes a gray has a slight purple undertone, in which case something like this really makes sense. And it makes eyes pop. So anyway, that's it. These are them. Hopefully I don't do another video on these for a while. I'm not going to buy another one for a little bit. No. If you have other colors or comments or suggestions, I'd love to hear them. Please subscribe on YouTube. And I have a new book, Escape, which is a terrorist novel. Please get it on Amazon if you like things like that, but if you don't, don't.